Welcome back. Tiff and I both have a very common skin condition. It's called rosacea.
Oh.
Yeah, aging too. And about 16 million Americans also have it, which is about 1 in every 10 of us.
Yeah, many celebrities report having it too, including Cynthia Nixon, Cameron Diaz, and Prince William. So we're not alone, and that's just to name a few who have been vocal about their struggles. Dr. Deborah Manjoney is the owner and founder of the Wisconsin Vein Center in Medi Spa, and she joins us with more on what causes those flare-ups, how to calm them down, and then treat them so we can get good results. Good to see you.
Great to see you too.
Yeah, so we talk about it a lot, the fact that we both get rosacea.
And a lot of people have it.
Yeah.
I have some rosacea too, and it depends on where, how severe it is. I know my nose gets really red.
My whole cheek will,
and your cheeks can flush. And, usually starts when you're over 30. So children who have red cheeks, not necessarily rosacea or to predict that it's going to be rosacea. But there are so many different times that it can get worse.
Is it a bacteria on the skin? Or
it's not a bacteria. Okay. There have been theories about it, and nothing has been proven. Little skin mites have been considered one of the issues that could cause rosacea. So there are different theories about some kind of irritant that is environmental that can cause it, but nobody knows for sure.
Okay.
It does tend to run in a family though.
Okay.
How do you know if it's just flushing or it's rosacea?
You don't really know, but usually when you're getting it as you're getting a little bit older, just young adult, it's probably rosacea.
Got it.
So you mentioned flare-ups.
Yes.
What is a flare-up and what causes it?
Okay, so flare-up can be where you have just some pink cheeks or you see some little vessels, and all of a sudden things get worse and you might get a breakout in that, and that's acne rosacea. And that can be a really terrible flare for people, and it gets much worse in appearance. And so there are things to try to do to avoid flare-ups or also to treat yourself when you're having a flare-up.
Okay, so what causes the flare-ups?
Flare-ups can be caused by very frequently heat, the sun. It can be caused by red wine ingestion. It's not just one thing, and spicy foods are a big culprit.
Yeah,
so people who have flare-ups really kind of need to keep a journal, a diary to know what they were doing before their flare-up to try to prevent it, because it does become a matter of lifestyle choices.
What about irritating skin products? Like I always wonder if I should use an exfoliator or not.
Have to be very careful with exfoliators. Anything that is granular and really harsh on the skin probably should be avoided.
Okay.
So there are other ways to do it more gently. Acids are the thing to think of. If something says acid, except something like hyaluronic acid, which we know is a moisturizer, they should probably be avoided because they can really lead to some of this irritation that can worsen rosacea.
Okay.
So how do you calm it down?
Calming it down is by switching to very calming skincare products that don't have perfumes, that don't have any irritants in them. So you can do that. If you're going out in the sun, something that can at least help the appearance of it is something like a green sunscreen, like the Elta calming sunscreen, which has just a little green tint.
Yeah.
And so by doing
I'm
that,
just gonna take a little bit of that.
Green counteracts red.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that really helps a lot for people who are flaring to calm it down in appearance.
Especially if you're just wearing that as a sunscreen and you're not even putting a foundation or a powder over it, that's going to really take that red down.
But then you can still
you.
wear your makeup. Just be careful of what your makeup is. Make sure your hands are clean if you're applying a liquid. Maybe change your brush. There are so many things that can irritate and make the flare worse.
Well, yeah, let's talk about some treatments, because obviously we can do all these little things at home, but we're not always good at it. So
Well, treatments are some of the products that you can use.
Yeah.
Azelaic acid, even though it's an acid, that's a calming acid.
Okay.
So that can be part of a product that you might be using at home or part of a serum. Certainly, Intense Pulse Light, we think it has been the most dramatic improver of rosacea that we have.
That's the IPL here.
Absolutely amazing what it can do. People may need 3 to 4 treatments to see the results, but you will definitely see results.
It's so funny because when I did the IPL with you, and Molly does it a lot too, I remember thinking, this is the best my skin's ever looked. And I wonder if a big part of that too was just the help that it had with my rosacea. I felt like my skin was just like clear and
For,
bright.
for somebody who's just getting 2 or 3 of these,
Yeah.
yes. Of course, intense post-light has been shown to actually rejuvenate the skin and
Yeah.
cause aging backwards.
Yes.
If you do enough of them, but that's like 1 a month.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's
I'm not doing that many, but I want to.
Yes.
Yeah, and you mentioned gentle skincare products and green tinted moisturizers.
Yes.
I know there's some makeup too that has some green tint
there are
to it.
a lot of different over-the-counter type makeups and products. Do
It
have
was
some green
interesting
tint.
how many celebrities have
Yeah.
talked
It is
about having Princess
amazing.
Diana
Yes.
apparently had it,
Yeah.
W.C. Fields, Karl Malden.
And so that's the real bad rosacea, that those
Okay.
2 last ones you mentioned. They have the big rhinophyma, a huge nose. It's not from drinking. Okay, everybody always thought it's from alcohol.
Yeah.
It's from rosacea. And that's a severe form of rosacea where they have venous lakes. We actually have seen some of this shrink down when we're using intense
Wow.
pulse light. So, obviously we don't want to let somebody get to that stage,
Yeah.
but it is amazing the reversal of a lot of the problems you can see with rosacea with treatments that we can offer.
So can you treat even just your nose area with IPL?
Oh, sure, sure. IPL, and there are also other venous and vascular lasers that
Yeah.
also work. But IPL probably gives you less of a side effect than any of the others.
Amazing.
So many good things you can
Thank
do.
you.
Yes.
Good to see you, doctor.
Very exciting.
All right, if you're ready to treat your rosacea, just contact the Wisconsin Vein Center and Medi-Spa. Their beautiful facility is located in Pewaukee. You're just going to spend time in their lobby, too. It's so great. To set up a free consultation, give them a call. It's 262-746-9088, or you can set it up through their website, wimedispa.com.